Okay, so in this problem, there's two different ways to solve it, but the first few steps are the same. So let's jump right on into it and I'll branch them off when needed. What we're really doing is we're solving for x and they're telling us what a is. So we can just replace it with 5 root 2 since they're saying that's what a is. So I rewrote that here and then we'll work on it from here on out, because what they're really testing on is your ability to work with radicals. Okay, so remember, for some students, it's easier to remember that when you have a 5 outside of like root 2 or any number outside of a radical, that's actually multiplication. So sometimes life gets easier when we remember that that's actually 5 times root 2, and then that's equal to 2x. Now this just becomes 10 root 2 equal to root 2x, and I can even further split this up and have this be rewritten as this times this times this times this, right? So radical 2 times radical x will still ultimately bring us back to where we started up here. So just breaking it up here. It's number 20, so we want to start thinking a little creatively on like how can we rearrange numbers, because that's what they test us around this point when those questions are that simple. Okay, well, what I see is that I have radical 2 on both sides, so that actually just cancels out, and what I have is 10 equals radical x. And if I want to get x by itself, I can just square both sides, and we end up with 100 equaling x, and that's how you can solve for that. Now, I'm going to show us another way here. Now that we have this problem written like up here, the other way we could solve it is we can have it written as 10 root 2 is equal to root 2x. For those that don't want to see it as a multiplication problem, what we can do technically is just square both sides to get rid of that radical. And what we have is 10 squared, that would be 100, and then that would be multiplied by 2, because then that gets rid of that, and then equals 2x. And then you can just divide out that 2 on both sides. That cancels out, and you just have 100 equaling x. No wrong way to do it. Whatever is more natural for you. You just want to be comfortable working with radicals and being able to eliminate them or being able to rationalize them.